our community than the Chief of Police of the Jackson Police Department, Chris Simpson. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Bart, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, it is a beautiful day.
It is. Happy National Police Week.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Earlier, we honored fallen officers and first responders in the annual Police Memorial, and that's something your department and your Honor Guard puts on every year.
Yes, it's has some rich history there. I think I've joined the Honor Guard back in 1997, 96, 97. And at that time, we was actually doing the police memorial in a cemetery. And we were smart enough to bring it downtown. We started bringing the community involved. And you can see it has evolved in more than just the Jackson Police Department. The Sheriff's Department, Michigan State Police, Blackman Township. We certainly invite all those local big organizations to participate in the memorial. And we also, probably the most important piece is adding their fallen officers, deputies, troopers to the roll call of heroes. Mm-hmm. Those who have died in the line of duty. And I think that that certainly exemplifies the reasons why we're there, to honor their name.
Yeah, and sadly, the numbers every year get longer here in our community. We've had members of the state police, the city of
Yes.
Jackson, sheriff's department, but statewide, just last week, I think we had two officers or troopers killed in the line of duty.
Certainly one is way too many.
Yeah.
And I know from a national standpoint, we certainly have numbers that are, 148 in 2024. And they've been lower, and they have been higher as well. Yeah. I know at one point the goal was below 100, and I have not seen that in national.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's. It seems that the community, in general, is much less tolerant of attacks on the police, and that the penalties are becoming more severe. Hopefully that'll improve the numbers.
I would only hope so.
Yeah.
I certainly do.
So you do a lot more than just chase robbers. You've got your people all over the community. And today we thought during National Police Week we'd look at some of the things that you're involved with in this community. So you put together a few photos. I know Reading Week, that's Reading Month, you guys do that.
We certainly do that. You can see Officer Goings there reading to, looks to be a elementary school classroom. And it's certainly something we've always done in the past. Not just during Reading Month, but we used to go to the lunchrooms. The commanders have lunch with the kids in every school in the district, in the city. Officers on a daily do walkthroughs through the school that they work in their district to know the kids, to know the teachers, the administrators, and just help build those relationships. Officer
Scott Goings, I believe a Jackson native and one of your longest serving officers.
Yes, indeed. Scott is, I think he is the most senior police officer that we have. He was on the Honor Guard. Well, he is on the Honor Guard. And I remember when he came to the Honor Guard, he has served fantastic for the city of Jackson.
Absolutely. He's a great guy, Scott Goings. I didn't see you at the Polar Plunge.
I don't know what happened there. Oh, man. I think I was at the Sheriff's Department when this happened. And I think my activities taken me away from jumping in that cold water. Seems to do that every year. Don't get me wrong. I think the Special Olympics, along with the torch run in this ordeal, is fantastic. I certainly donated toward this, and I can see some of the employees from the city jumping in the water there. And God, they've been doing that for a long time, long time.
Yeah, thanks for that. I wouldn't like you jumping in the water. You have a cadet program, and that's really cool. I've had a chance to interact with the cadets, and they are, talk about on-the-job training. They get thrown into some pretty serious situations.
Well, yes. From the standpoint of civilians, yes, but not in the standpoint of police. We certainly don't put them in harm's way. They do drive a car. It is marked. They have a uniform on, which, to say the least, could be, exactly what you mean. But they take care of some calls for service where there's no suspects involved. They handle property damage accidents. They do some traffic points. They do some go for this, go for that, depending on what is needed. It certainly is a mentoring program.
And this is Cadet Brendan Miller.
Yes.
And I think he had a kids' workshop there at Home Depot.
And those guys do a fantastic job with community contacts, like you see in the picture, and they're all over the community. I started as a cadet.
That's right, I remember
yes,
that.
indeed.
Yeah.
But it was no in the car. It was no with the community.
No, there
we
were no
dispatch
cars.
center,
Yeah.
and we dispatched.
And the uniforms weren't as nice.
No, they were not.
No.
Yeah.
Now, last week, you had an officer respond to a stolen vehicle report, and later that same day, that stolen vehicle was recovered by a cadet.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I'm not
Yes,
sure
indeed.
which. I don't know more details. That's what I've heard.
Well, I think, and if I'm thinking correctly, I think they just run across the car which was abandoned.
Well, still.
Still, yes, indeed. And they've done that before.
Yeah.
They've done that before, especially if it's a parking complaint. They find out the car is stolen. Yes.
All right. Let's go to, you do the Christmas kids shopping stuff. You have a program for that. Oh, you're rapping. Well, you're not rapping.
No,
when did you start with it? When did you come back?
I just started with the city 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So
it's
it was well after Christmas.
Okay.
And I believe they do a shop with a cop here. Looks like the Sergeant Caruso, our engagement team. Certainly looks like the Michigan State Police are involved there as well. I can't tell what the facility is, though.
I can't either. It looks like it might even be like Jack's Naz or something.
Very well could be, but it certainly looked like there's some gift wrapping going on, so it certainly was a Christmas program.
Nice. All right, let's see. Besides jumping in the lake, you guys go to the Olympics, Special Olympics, that is.
Yes, indeed. And if that is the torch run, which they do every year, which is combined with all law enforcement corrections in the state of Michigan, well, actually nationwide, to partner, to raise money, and to give back certainly to that community.
That's Officer Trent Markham. Way to go, Trent. Let's go out on the, I guess on the scene. There's shots fired here.
Well, there's certainly some seriousness to our job as well. That's what we do. And it looks like Officer Renaga, if I can see, is almost cut off there. But certainly marking some indications of shots fired there.
It's like in the movies. You use those little yellow things.
Well, the movie gets it from real. That's what we do real. They kind of emulate what we do. Marking evidence, photographing evidence, collecting evidence, and preserving evidence.
You have a canine.
Yes, indeed. Officer Schramm is our canine officer. With Taz is the canine. They've been together for almost 2 years now. A growing program. Taz is just about that of age. I think he's a little over 2.5, I believe. I hope I'm getting that correctly. But it's a good program that certainly is growing. She does a fantastic job with being out in the community and deploying the dog when needed per policy.
Canine officers, they tend to change after they get paired with a dog. Remember Scarpino? Steve Scarpino, he started to look like the dog after a while.
I'm certainly going to pass that on to Steve. I certainly am. I just saw him at the police memorial. I think you may be on to something there.
Yeah, the longer he was with that dog, the more he resembled him. We're passing out Caught Being Safe coupons. Oh, those are cool. That's I think McDonald's helps with that.
And that is another program. You could see Cadet Sherman Smith with some of the kids You can see some stickers, some certificates being handed out. You know, just another connection with the community. Another connection with the community. I look forward to Cadet Smith moving on to his next journey of becoming a police officer.
He's so as a recruit, they come on, and what do they do? Like,
Well, as a police cadet, you know, they're working, and like you saw the pictures earlier, if they maintain the standard as far as the amount of credits they need, they can apply to become a recruit to go to the police academy, in which turn
you sent
Sheriff
this,
Smith has.
yeah. Well, it looks like he's well on his way. You sent this picture. You said you love this picture, and I do too.
Oh, absolutely. Officer Justice, getting out, talking with people, and notice that he's kneeling down because they're kneeling, so he's on the same level. And Officer Justice got some good history there. I was his professor at Baker College, and he always wanted to be a police officer, and I'm glad that he's working in there.
He had to become a police officer with that name.
I said the same.
Yeah.
Every time I go up to him, I say, "What's that name?" And he said, "Officer Justice." It gets no better than that.
Either that or a judge. Judge Justice.
Judge Justice.
And you've been encouraging women to come into the field.
Now that is a fantastic photo. And I think that's actually the first time I've seen it, because it looks like you have Sheriff's Department. I can't tell if that's dispatchers or not. You certainly have both canines involved. That's a wonderful picture. We certainly want women representing our community in uniform.
Well, that's nice, and those are all wonderful photos, but as you said, you've only been at the department, back at the department for 2 months, but we do have one photo with you on the job, on duty, and that is Reading Month. You got a chance to go to, I think you were at, where were you? Cascades?
I was at Cascades, and actually in Mrs. Simpson's classroom, and reading to her class. She's a kindergarten teacher there at Cascades, and it was a fun time, very fun time. The kids are well engaged, they pay attention. You know, we talk about some safety things. We also talk about the importance of reading. So,
well, during National Police Week, I know a lot of people in the community want to honor the police, and I know they've been dropping donuts and gift cards and all kinds of thanks to you and your department. What can people do? What's the best way to honor National Police Week?
You know, you're right. There's so many things that people do during this week, treats and gift cards and everything. But, you know, a simple head nod and a simple thank you is the best for most of us. You know, that's all we need. It's just a daily thank you on the job we do and the sacrifice they do on a daily basis.
Well, we thank you and all of your department. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Good to see you, Officer, or Chief.
I've been called officer.
Yes. Chief Chris Simpson from the Jackson Police Department. We've got